Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got one heck of a November haul for you guys. I mean, I am telling you, we've got some monsters from Kevin at S&W. He's got some picks on this list that I was able to get my hands on. One bottle that has been proven to be quite elusive this month has been the Larceny Barrel Proof. Now, you guys know they're supposed to come out in September. For whatever reason, I am not finding that bottle. I usually get all of my Larcenies before I get all of my Elijah Craigs. It's been the other way around this month, put it that way. What else? Thank you guys so much for buying all of the glasses. You guys know that you can reach me over at Patreon. You also can find the Westward Barrel Picks over at Patreon, as well as in the description of this video. But I'm not gonna hold you too long. Let's get into these bottles. First bottle on the list. This is a bottle that I took to Dennis's Bourbon Meetup. Shout out, Dennis. Now, this was a fresh bottle. Didn't crack it, took it there. This was the backup that I had for my Oak and Eden. It didn't come back like this. I just enjoyed this bottle so much with sticks that this is where it's at now. But when I brought it back home that night, it was probably to around there. But I really enjoyed this bottle. To me, this is a do-it-all bottle. Any stick you throw at it, it can handle. Shout out to Dennis once again. This is a bottle that I picked up off the Humble. This came from BK Miller. I just happened to stop through there on my way to Kevin's store. And they had this thing, believe it or not, for $39.99. That is almost half the price. I had to grab it. I have not had one of these in a long time. I have a smidge left in the bottle that I have in the storage area. So it was time to get my hands on one of these bottles again. These Ezra 7s are amazing, amazing. All right, I told you guys that Kevin has some monsters on his list, and we are about to get into them. So right here, this is the 1792 Full Proof. This is S&W pick. This thing right here, man. Yeah, as soon as I came home with it, I cracked it, and I was like, yeah, that's that's what I'm talking about. I love all of the 1792 Full Proofs anyway, but when you get a pick, especially when it's a special pick, it's got to come home with me. These are a dynamic duo. So I picked these up. This is like Batman and Robin. Don't ask me why these bottles are so filled with condensation. These are the only two bottles that do this. I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but they just get so cloudy, and I can't figure it out. Maybe you guys can put in the description what's going on. Maybe the alcohol is evaporating, the water is evaporating. I don't know, but these bottles look like they have a cloud in them. All right, let's get back to the bottle. So these are two Pursuit United Double Oak picks that he went down to Kentucky to do. And shout out to Brad, because Brad was with him. And I did a review on these already. That review has been recorded, but it has not been edited yet. I can't wait for that thing to come out so you guys can know what I feel about these bottles. So stay tuned for those. Let me see. The Jack. So you guys know I am a huge fan of JDSBBP. The rye has taken over as my favorite, but since I was low on it, it was time to get it. And it's almost a birthday bottle. It's what? No. The new rye that I bought was a birthday bottle. This one right here is very off, but I bought this one because this one was bottled in 21, and I could not believe that this thing had been sitting in the store or sitting somewhere down in Richmond that long before they shipped it out. So I had to pick it up because everything that I've had from 20 and 21, I've loved. All right, I'm gonna probably have to make some room here shortly. So you guys know I do have a unicorn on the list. If you are a fan of the channel, you already know what that unicorn is. So just stay tuned. That one will be coming up last. I had to pick up a backup of the C924. This is my backup. The C924 is good. It's behind me. It's on the bar. And I am loving that thing right now. I was loving it so much that I actually had to go out and get a backup. So if you do not have the C924 yet, I suggest you go out and get it. This one came out today. And let's just say I wasn't that pleased. It's just an okay bottle. Like it's supposed to be a special release. It's a high rye. I'm thinking this thing was going to be amazing. Anyway, just go and watch that review. I was brutally honest. I even put that on a thumbnail. I was brutally honest. You know, it might have some friends out there. It might have some friends. All right. Anyway, let's get to the next bottle. So, like I told you, I normally don't have an issue getting larceny. I normally don't have an issue getting Bernheim. This year, larceny, I just have not been able to get my hands on it. But this is the new B924, because you got to remember, they only come out with 2 releases of Bernheim Barrel Proof per year. It's not like Larceny's and Elijah Craig where you have an A, B, and a C. This gets an A and a B, and that's it. But I was able to get this. The review has been shot. It just has not been edited yet, and it will be out soon. So stay tuned for that one. Shout out to my man Scott, because I told Scott that I had never had just the regular Barton. I had the Barton 100, but I had never had the regular Barton. So Scott was like, it could have went on your Lovable Crushables video. And he was right. I mean, it's just like, it's very cinnamon forward. It's like 1792, just, of course it's 80 proof, so it is turned down slightly, but it's like 1792, just a little sharper. But it is crushable, man. Heavy, like a heavy vanilla note, heavy cinnamon note, and you could just sit there at 80 proof, just sip on it with ease. Anyway, so I was also on a live. Shout out Whiskey 6. I was also on a live with the Whiskey 6. We were talking to Walt and Tina from the, I think it's the Bourbon Frontiersman Adventures. I got to put it up because I don't know the name of the channel offhand. They were great people to deal with when we had them on a live. So I was sipping on that thing while we had them on the live. All right, this is a bottle that if you guys find, I suggest you pick it up. I already shot the review for it. I am loving it. I was going to go back to get it back up. Scott went up there to pick up one. He said they're gone already. This is the 8-year Tumbling Dice Double Oak. This is the first double oak that Tumbling Dice has ever released. So I can't wait until I find another one. That's how good they are. I was going to pick up a backup. So, you know, shout out to Esquire. I was going to go up there. Scott said you guys are all sold out, so it looks like I missed out. I'll have to be back and get another one. All right, time for the unicorn on the list. If you are a fan of the channel, you already know what this is. Dum-da-dum! This is the new Stag 24B. I had a little bit of the 24A in a sample. 22A is a monster, but 24B, I am really liking this thing right here, man. If you can find this thing for a reasonable price, I say snatch it up. I'm not gonna go crazy because I don't like, you know me, I try to stay within my 30 over retail. Bottles like this, I rarely ever see. So of course, if you saw the review, you know I went my 30 way more than 30 over retail. But if you can find this thing for a reasonable price, I say pick it up. I'm not gonna go crazy and say $200. I'm not gonna go crazy and say $300. But if you can find it for a reasonable price, I say pick it up. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out. Let's get it to a drop. Till next time.